So maybe you can kick us off with your AI aha, Bridget.
I don't know if mine this week is that interesting or useful to lawyers specifically, but my husband and I were up north in northern Michigan this weekend and walking around this property that we own up there. We have this big wooded lot with lots of hills. And every time we've walked it, we like find new parts of it. Um, and this time we found 2 old cars, like one old truck and one old car that were both like obviously had been there for decades based on like my just looking at them. And so of course to figure out exactly what the make and model were, I used my ChatGPT app and took photos of different parts of each of them so that ChatGPT could identify, like, was it a f we were really curious about, like, what make and model truck it was and what make and model car. It was a Studebaker, by the way, the truck, and the car was a Dodge, I forget. But it literally was able to like, identify, like, between 47 and 49, basically, for each of them, and all these other details about them. So then, of course, we decided we were gonna have ChatGPT do our nature lessons throughout the rest of the woods. Like we were trying to figure out what the difference between the different evergreens or firs or whatever. Like what's the difference between this one and that one? And not only would it you just take a photo and upload it, it would tell you about it, but it would also then tell you how to make sure. Like you have to try see if you can roll the needles in your fingers. If they roll, it's this. If they don't roll, it's this other thing. It was like this interactive ChatGPT was like walking me through the plants in the woods, and teaching us about them. I'm really hoping we have trillium back there, which is a gorgeous, gorgeous flower that does grow in that kind of area. But it's a little early for trillium. But I saw these like green things popping up, and I was trying to figure out if they were going to be trillium. And ChatGPT is amazing. It tells you it's like, "Do you want me to show you a photo of what Trillium would look like at that phase?" And I'm like, "Yeah, show me the photo." And it just, like, predicts it's the ChatGPT says, "I can produce a really, really realistic photo." And I was like, "Go for it, ChatGPT." So anyway, we had a woods tutor is my use case. It was pretty fun.
That's so
Yeah.
cool. Were the cars in, like, decent shape or had they been there for a long, long time? Did you ask it how long they'd been there?
They've clearly been there since, I don't know, I mean, probably 4, 5, 6 decades, like a very long time. They've been
Oh,
there for a very, very long
um,
time. Oh, one of the other things I got, there was a big pile of, clearly some kind of animal scat, but not scat that was recognizable to me. And so I asked ChatGPT, what kind of scat is this? And it was porcupine scat, which
no
apparently
way.
is I know, which is apparently, like, knowable because of, like, the I don't need to get into the details of the scat, but pretty amazing. But and then, of course, I got terrified because I was like, "Well, if there's a porcupine, like, under this, like, truck, like, we're in porcupine trouble." My husband was like, "What do you mean by that? Like, are you gonna touch it?" Or I was like, "No, but it shoots you with its needles." He's like, "It does not shoot its needles. That's not what happens." Of course, I asked ChatGPT, and he was right. They do not shoot their needles. That's like I must have seen that in a cartoon at some point.
We're in porcupine trouble.
Anyway, what about you? Do you have a good one this week?
So mine, it wasn't all that like creative, but it was sort of mind blowing. So we are rebuilding our team website, and this is like the type of task that just I never seem to have time to do. And we got the draft wireframe and sample page, like we can go in and look at it. And we just have not had the time to, like, sit around and make a list, and I blocked off, like, 2 hours to sit through, and it's a small website, but even for a small website, there's, like, 25 subpages that you click onto, and I started, like, making a bullet point list of, like, all the changes, and then I thought, "I wonder what this would be like if I tried to use ChatGPT voice mode to go through it." So I opened voice mode and I told it, like, "I'm looking at this website. I want you to act like an assistant, and I'm just gonna tell you as I'm going through it what I want changed." And it was like, as you would imagine, it's like, "Great, I'm ready to hear your feedback." And I said, "Okay, I'm on the homepage now. I don't like this font here. I want it to look more modern. I don't like this picture." But it also, like, you wouldn't be surprised to know, I would say, I don't really like how this sentence is worded. I'd like it to sound a little bit cleaner, and simpler. And then it would say something like, got it. You want it simpler. How about this? And it was like, perfect. Like, that sounds amazing. And a couple times, like, I think the awkward thing is I'm just waiting, like, I'm not ready to say anything again yet, so I was hesitant to use it for that reason, because I'd still be reading things, but I just kept saying to it, it would say, like, "What's your next correction?" And I would say, "I just need a minute, like, I'm still reading," and then it would say, like, "That's fine, I'm here whenever you need me," and then I would just, once I was ready, say something else, and then I got through the whole website, and then at the end, I was like, "Can you take this and turn it into, like, a bullet point list of page by page corrections?" And it was like, "Absolutely. Here's your page. Would you like it converted to a Google Doc?" It was unbelievable. And again, it's, like, not that mind-blowing in terms of what it did. It's just I would have spent so much time doing that. And then I would have had to type out the bullet points. It was just so cool.
Yeah, that's actually, I mean, you're right. It is the kind of thing that we know it does well, but that's the kind of like I'm still having these breakthroughs, right? In my regular workflows where it occurs to me like, wait a minute, why am I doing this alone? I have my helper over here. But that one you just described is amazing because it can be keeping track of it. It's like again, like actually working with a coworker, right? Who's kind of listening to you and keeping track of all of it and then producing like a perfect final product. That's amazing. That's really, really smart. I like that.
Yeah. And like you with the, is it called Trillium? Is that what it's called?
Trillium. Yep.
It always it's always willing to go the extra step for
Oh
you. So
yeah.
it's like, "Oh, I don't really like the way this is laid out, but I'm not sure exactly why." And then it'll be like, "Would you like me to propose some different ways that we could lay this out?" Like, "Sure, because I have no
Yeah.
idea what I'm doing." So yeah, it's just it really is like you and I always talk about in presentations. Like, it is the smartest, most eager intern you've ever had that
Yeah.
is just looking for your direction. Thank you for tuning in to 2030 Vision, AI and the Future of Law. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to our podcast and leave a review. Stay informed and inspired as we continue to explore the AI driven future of the legal profession. We'll see you next time.